Yo, bartender.
Bar's closed.
Hey, yo, bartender, what's good, man? Let me get a drink, man. Let me get a shot.
Hey, man, I know you just pulled up to the bar, but we closed.
Come on, man. You gotta be able to give me a shot, man. Come on.
You look like you need a drink, man, but I hate to tell you this, man. We about to close.
So you mean to tell me all these people out here, they got drinks and they got shots, but I can't get nothing. The bar closed that soon?
Okay, man, I don't know what else to say. I got this shorty half my age at the crib, and I'm trying to get to it. But last call was 10 minutes ago.
You know what? It's all right. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it.
All right. Tell you what, I'm gonna get you one drink, because it look like you need it.
One drink? I can do one drink. I can do one drink, because I really, yeah.
Hey, man, anything, man. Look like you got a lot on your mind and you need a friend right now. Pour it on me. Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome.
One of the things I want to say is brought to you by Camo Dispose. This is a garbage company doing great things. I'm up in Tennessee. I'm not back in Atlanta yet, but I'm making my way back. I've been doing great things with Dispose here in Atlanta, but now I'm up there in Tennessee doing the same garbage, same kind of stuff. But all you got to do is find out more about me by going to the website. Again, I am the VP. I run that bad boy, but one of the things I want to tell you, not just being the head, I am one of the people that believe in customer service. So when you want to get tired of the big boys not paying you no attention, come to me. Right. I'm going to pay you some attention that I learned from a long time ago. Customer service is everything with me, and Dispose was one of the great things I did in Atlanta, and Camo's will be the greater things I'm doing in Tennessee. So come check me out at Camo. Woo. Now I got to get back to my man that came in this building still smiling. Now you got a pretty woman sitting next to him. Craftmatic, you come in this bad boy with a smile each and every time. How you doing tonight, big baby?
I'm fabulous, Jay.
Man, you still smiling, bro?
Fabulous, Jay, man. Life is good, bro.
You smiling because the person next to you?
A little bit.
Is that what it is?
I don't know it that well, but we've been to get to know it, though. You know what I'm saying?
Let's introduce it.
Okay. Well, we have our guest here tonight. Our producer brought one of his artists into the studio. Okay. I believe, if I got this right, her name is Jay Gia.
Jay Gia.
That's right.
And welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here, guys.
Yes, we're glad to have you. Brighten up the room, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, and we want to hear from you tonight. So we got a powerful subject going on. So sounds like you're doing well. You're doing well. Everything's good.
Yeah, I'm actually doing great. We had a 6-hour video shoot last night, so everything was great. I feel wonderful today.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It always feels good to get up the next morning after you have some production time.
Yes, it does. It does.
Yeah, because you made history.
Yeah,
you made history. Those videos, you never know. They be shining forever. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be the one that gets in somebody's hands who want to see you, want to bring you up the ladder with them. So I get it. Excellent work. And I know the work that Booby does. So you're in the right hands. You know? How you doing tonight, Smooth Jay?
Man, let me tell you, man. All the flying back and forth. I can tell you, man, it's challenging.
Yes.
But one thing I can tell you, I'm very blessed, man. I'm very happy. Yeah. A lot of changes headed my way, and still gonna be done. But one of the things I got to tell you is the commitment of what we have here is one of the things I do up there. It starts within you. It's all about your drive. So I always had that drive in me. So when I got up there, got lonely for a minute, trying to make it all happen, come back here, and I'm only here for a short amount of time. Right. It just reinvents me to go back even stronger when I get back up there.
There you go.
So I got a flight out later tonight to get back up there. And then, of course, I'll be back here, I don't know, a couple weeks later. Yeah. As you know how that go. But we still do the show, have not failed doing it. And that's one of the commitments that I always wanted to do. And people chase money and they don't understand dreams. Yeah. I got a dream, and that makes money. But you got to have it. But you chasing something that you don't have because you just don't know. Hey, and that's why I push my business so hard.
And that is exactly what we're going to be talking about tonight. A great way to introduce ourselves. This is Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay. We have our guest Jay Gia in the house tonight. And we'd love to thank you folks for being here with us. We're just here to liberate your minds and souls with a fabulous dialogue. Sometimes you're sitting in your living room, you're just meandering through life, and you're looking for a way to grow. This is perhaps a way to grow. We're going to dive deep into our subject for tonight, which is what keeps people from being successful. And I think we all can learn from a conversation like this. So sit back, relax, hear our stories and opinions, and find a way to grow while you sit in your own living room. We do this from our hearts because we know that dialogue heals, right? If you're having challenging communication in your relationship, if you can overcome the communication, you'll find some healing.
Thank you.
And so we're so grateful for you folks being here with us tonight. We start every show off with a prayer. And I don't know, Jay, would you like to do a prayer?
Man, nah, go ahead, knock it out the park, Pastor.
All right, let's go ahead and bow our heads. And so, Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight just for another awesome evening to congregate and to develop each other and improve one another. We're asking, Heavenly Father, that you would come into this room today to inspire us in a very special way. We're talking about success tonight, Lord, and so I'm asking for every mind and every heart and every soul to be open to new information and new ideas about the world and about themselves. We're all seeking success. We're all seeking growth. We're all seeking wisdom. We're all seeking love. We're all seeking the greatest part of ourselves in this life. And we ask, Lord, that you would just come to the table and nurture us and inspire us and heal us and grow us in a way that's going to open doors for our tomorrow. We ask, Father, that you would be here, inspire this word, bring your love and intelligence. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Oh, listen to you. Okay, Pastor Craig.
Amen. You know, this is my favorite subject, brother.
Well, I can tell.
Yeah, absolutely.
You was really gone now.
Absolutely.
I was waiting on a little collection plate to go by.
Well, check the cash app real quick.
Yeah, you ain't never lie.
Right?
I've been waiting on that to be.
Yeah, right. And so let's go ahead and just dive in. You know, we normally have a quote segment, but I think there's enough for us to talk about.
All day.
And we've shortened the show. You know, we originally was a 2-hour show, and now we've kind of narrowed it down to about an hour. So we're going to jump right in and see if we can make some magic happen. Here's the question for tonight once again. What keeps people from being successful?
Ooh, well, I'm going to tell you right now. A lot of times people want success, but they don't even have a plan.
Right.
So one of the things I can tell you is when you have a plan, you have more things that you can work towards, and then you can understand more of the success. Success is working a great plan.
Right.
Now, don't ever get it twisted. One of the things I can always tell you is if you have a plan, it can be changed. But you got to have it in front of you so you have to understand exactly where you're going.
Right.
Then you got to have determination. That's going to be your drive to get to that point of making it successful.
Okay.
That means you understand your plan and you got a direction of where you want to go. Now, I like to say how you know sometimes you're off path because God going to give you hurdles. And how you get on them will help you understand better where you need to be. And it's also going to be in people to come in your life. Because the more success you get and the more you work that plan, there's going to be more people that you shun off. You can't carry everyone. And I know that's really sad. And a lot of people feel like, man, you just don't drop everybody. It's not about me dropping. It's about me elevating. And I can't elevate carrying everyone. And that's one of the biggest fears of you being successful because you don't want to lose your friends.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you're going to lose them anyway. Because some of them are not really your friends. They hating on you. And I really want to get you past the hate and understand you still need them. Okay? You need them people to be rooting for you, but they ain't really with you. And how you know it? Because they ain't rooting for you. They're looking for you to fail. Just like they have their own failures. The biggest problem is you're not giving in to failure. You're giving into commitment to make it happen. And they don't have it. So they're jealous of it. And I hate to say it, that jealousy don't go work with you. Why would you want to work with something that you already going to bring you back to not where you want to be? So I really say you got to shun some of that off to accept something new. That means you got to act differently, you got to be around some folks, and you got to hold yourself. And a lot of people say, well, you're changing, you're elevating. Don't look at change as because of the fact that you ain't doing the same thing you was doing, because I promise you, it ain't going to get you where you want to go. You changing for a better you. Be proud of the change. Understand what you're trying to do. Pray over it. Make sure he guides you. And then you'll see more happier days than sad days. The sadness came from the bad mistakes and the repeated mistakes. The great days is when the days that he's taking you and leading you and carrying you to a better place. Don't fight the resistance of what he's carrying. Understand the mission. And then you'll see the glory.
Absolutely.
And I like to tell you in mine, and being the VP of this company right here, Camo, I was with Dispose and partnered with my business partner, and now I got the Camo.
Right.
The growth is totally different. I had a hauler division down here, maybe $1 million, something and a half. Now I'm up to a $40 million landfill, and if I add the rest in there, probably about 50, 60 million total in assets that the company's already doing.
Right.
All right? That's a lot of things that's bought in, got investors, all the rest. So it's not just me, but it's just understanding the difference of where I came from. I can't stay the same just because of numbers. No, it's people understanding you differently. And you got to march differently, and that's going to help you with your growth factor. But to think you can bring everybody with you, why? Why? Why are you elevating what's not ready? You wasn't ready. That's why you had to go through your own hells. But you don't want to look at the hells. You just want to get the glory. No, the hells help you remember what you don't need to be doing to get you a better place for what you need to be doing. I wasn't really preparing myself. Now I see unprepared situations, and now I see I don't need to do that. I need to be more prepared. I need to study more. You know, back when I was in school, I didn't want to study at all. I wanted to give up this grown card. Let me just tell y'all. If I can go to Walmart and give up this grown thing that people keep telling me I'm grown, I cash mine in. Because I didn't know what I was getting. I want somebody to take care of me and be done with it. Well, obviously, I don't want to do that now.
Right.
So quit telling me you're grown. I don't understand why people come to me and say I'm grown. If I didn't see it when you walked up, I sure don't respect it when you say it. Because grown people don't need to say it. You need to show me.
Grown people don't say it.
Yeah. I don't care tell me you grown. You 47 years old. If you ain't learned nothing, learn not to do that to me.
Right.
Because I'm going to look at you crazy.
Right.
Because I really want you to act it. But we don't want to act it. We want somebody to take care of us and do everything. Because you get tired of doing it. I'm just telling you, get into a career and you'll quit crying about a job. Because then you'll get used to doing something even when you don't want to do it. Because that's what, I hate to say, bosses do. And lazy people want to be a boss because you don't want to work. That don't work. We work when you don't see it. Normally, we put in the work before you. So now you see us not doing as much, and you be like, oh, that's what I want. Then understand the work ethics. Understand the discipline. Quit asking for what you ain't understanding. You just want to be lazy. It's not always going to be that way.
Man, I got so much I want to say because I kind of want to regurgitate what you said because it was actually extremely powerful. But let's ask our guest here, JG, what do you think? What keeps people from being successful?
I think it's a lot like what he was saying, like with your surroundings, like the people that are around you.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally went through an experience like that. I lost all my friends that I thought, that loved me. I thought they would be there and stuff like that. And as I grew as an artist, I noticed that those people were gone. They were gone.
Yeah.
They were nowhere to be found. And that's where I found my strength. And I had to realize I'm more of a power by myself. So it's okay.
There you go.
It's okay. You're gonna lose people going up to the top. It's okay. It just happens. And I think a lot of people get sidetracked with just feeling like they have to have so many people around them to be able to do this or to be able to do that. And just like he said, a lot of times those people that are around you, they end up being haters or they really don't want to see you successful, or they're sideways saying like, oh, this person she's doing this or he's doing that.
Right.
And I'm here.
Right.
I don't want that for them. They can't beat me. Like they're always in like side or small competition in their head with you by themselves, and you never even know it. So I totally agree with that. I feel like that is a great statement that you said.
Yeah, and that small competition is envy.
Yeah.
Yes,
right?
Unfortunately.
Because to those people who left you, they could see you had the gift.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people can't see your gift. They can just see that you're after it.
Right.
And that is not in them. And so now I gotta, I can't clap as loud for you.
Right.
I might not show up at your event.
Right.
You ask me to help you or do something. Oh, I'm too busy.
Right.
And so, those are all right on the money. There's lots of reasons. There's probably hundreds and hundreds of reasons.
It is.
But let me attempt to just regurgitate what Jay and JG was talking about.
Okay.
Plan.
Uh-huh.
What is a plan? It's an opportunity for you to think through what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Most people are not successful because they're just chasing a dream and not working a plan.
True.
Correct.
There's no intelligence in a dream. There's no intellect. There's no direction. There's no guidance. There's no power in the dream.
Mm-hmm.
But there is guidance, direction, and power in the plan.
Correct.
And this is so important because this is extremely important
Say it.
because what we have to do to be successful is we have to put a set of steps out and start walking those steps.
See?
That's right.
See, I always explain it like this with Minecraft. This is A. It's just where you are. You can be failure, you can be fag, no love, you have no money, no business, etc.
Right.
This is A, and this is B.
Okay.
Right? The first and most important thing is that if you never identify B,
Mm-hmm.
you will never achieve B. It's literally impossible for you to achieve B and you never identified it.
All right.
Right? And so here's A, here's B, and what we're going to do in the plan is we identify the very specific action steps that I'm going to take
Right.
between A and B. That way, there's no guesswork. I spent 30 plus years in sales, right? Here's A, here's B. The number one on there is you got to make 30 calls a day. I don't care if it's raining. I don't care if you're tired. I don't care if you're sick. I don't care what's going on. If you don't make 30 calls a day, you are not touching the market, Stacy. And so the job is force myself to get on the phone, thread the tie, put the smile on my face, and start dialing for dollars.
Right.
That's right.
That's a simple plan for those who are in salespeople. Those people who are in sales and you make an average income, you're not making the 30 calls a day. Because I promise you, 30 calls a day will equal, thousands of calls at the end of the month, end of the year, end of the quarter.
Right.
You can't miss your mark if you make thousands of calls. What is that? That's thousands of planned actions toward your objective.
Right.
Right.
It takes that, right? As a musician, I would imagine you got to keep getting in the studio. You got to keep
Yes.
developing yourself. You got to keep writing. That's a part of the plan.
It is.
Wow.
It is.
Here it is Thursday and I haven't written anything. Part of the plan is you got to keep writing.
Yep.
Because I need to produce a song a week, 2 songs a week, 10 songs a week, 1 song a day, whatever that is. It's about the plan.
Yep.
That means that's how you manage behavior.
Right.
You have no ability to manage one's self without a plan.
True.
Because on the scale of A to B, without the plan, you're over there somewhere.
See, Lance.
You're not working what I call high payoff activities. See, when you make a plan, you have determined that here are the things, here are the top 10 things that are going to take me from where I am to my goal. If you're not working on those high payoff activities, you're drifting. And most of the time, you're not drifting toward the goal, you're drifting away from the goal.
Seeing your way out.
The plan is a masterpiece for you to execute. It gives you clean, clear direction to execute. Now, there are some who will make a plan. Sometimes it's a half-ass plan.
Right.
And, you'll start out with a half-ass plan until you start learning what those high payoff activities should do.
Right.
But you got a fire and you're going somewhere. I need to call, this producer I know. I need to go and sit at that studio. I need to watch 25 videos so I can learn how to carry myself in that way. I'm going to, there's 10 people who are in my field, in my genre, in my lane. Let me make sure and study these 10 people. I need to see what they did. I need to hear their story. I need to hear their failures.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have a plan, you're determined to learn and to grow. That is a part of determination.
Yes.
Right? Here's some other things I heard.
What you got?
Dealing with haters.
Come on now. Jeez. I try to motivate them.
I mean, and listen, both Jay and JG both said the same thing. Haters, right? They're haters. They're people who don't believe in you, right?
Yeah.
And this is big. I produce quotes that develop the heart and mind.
Right.
Okay.
And I just recently developed this quote that says, if you care at all about what other people think, you are their prisoner.
That is very true. That is very true.
If you care anything about what they think, you are operating on their paradigm and not your paradigm. Right? That will get in your way. What other people think, what other people want, how they feel about your work.
You don't got to throw knives on the show. You ain't got to be throwing daggers just because I said it. You ain't got to just throw it in my back.
Right.
Because that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
And you are right.
Yeah.
It is. Even though I make a joke out of it because I told you I can laugh now.
Yeah.
But it hurts when you see your own do that, though.
Right.
It really
does.
do.
It really does.
Because I cared enough
hurts,
for
right.
your thoughts that I brought you an idea.
Right.
And you laughed at the idea that now I made a reality. So now who's laughing?
Yeah. And sometimes you haven't quite made it, but you got to separate yourself from them because you're going in a different direction.
That's right.
And let me tell you something. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to start working your plan A to B.
Right.
and you're fired up, you prepared for your plan, you got some advice, you're just moving. And maybe there's 10 steps on the A to B, but you only have 3.
Okay.
Start working the 3. But here's what's going to happen, and this is major for success. At about 1.5 or 2, you're going to hit a roadblock. It's the nature of all success.
Right.
You're going to hit a roadblock because once you've decided this is where you want to go, the universe is going to start guiding you. And the universe knows that you don't know how to get to B. So it's going to start putting roadblocks and obstacles and all kinds of stuff in your. Oh, you didn't learn about finance. Oh, you didn't learn about taxes. Oh, you didn't learn about writing contracts. Oh, you didn't learn about how wordsmith. Or you need to increase your vocabulary or whatever that is. It's going to put a roadblock in your way. And there are so many people who will give up at the first sign of a roadblock. They don't have the intestinal fortitude to fight through roadblocks. Folks, we've heard over and over and over, success is nothing more than a menu of failures that you overcome. And at the end of those failures, it has beat you up just enough to pay attention to the right things and keep driving forward.
I agree.
Right? So failure is going to be a part of the process. There are some folks who just not are emotionally strong enough to deal with the failures. That's the difference between the good and the great. Right?
That's right.
The great has so many more failures than all of the average folk. And they don't mind failures. They are okay with failures. Because when I fail, I've answered the question about what do I do?
Yeah.
Right? How do I handle this? Oh, the next time I'm not gonna hire 10 people. I'm gonna hire 5 of the most dedicated people I can find, and I'll be short on staff because I know I can guide and I they always say, if someone is committed, you can make them capable. Right?
That's right.
Yeah, if they're committed, you can make them capable. But if you got 10 people who aren't committed, they'll never be capable. Right? So now I know when hiring people, I only hire committed people. I might only hire people with experience. I might only hire people who have a track record of success. Right? But the key is that I know that the failure because I failed in this way, I know the direction I need to take for my next step. And that's so important. You have to have emotional strength to be successful. You have to know that the road is going to be hard. There is no easy road to success. I don't care if you sell candy, if you sell candles, if you sell ships, if you sell jets, if you sell knowledge and information, if you write books. It does not matter. Every level of success is filled and riddled with failures. They're actually not failures. They're actually intelligent stumbling blocks.
I like how you made that.
That's
Because
all it
I'm
is.
tired of looking at myself as being fair. I'm trying to tell you that right now.
We're all.
It ain't a good look. It ain't a good look. But I promise you, you have to start thinking differently. And now
There
that I
you
hear
go.
it now, it's part of my new way of thinking.
Right.
Because at that time I was looking at it as failures. And when you look at failures, that's nothing to be proud of.
Right.
I didn't do good at it.
Right.
But you
Especially when
gotta
you're on
get
front row.
fired up though.
Right.
And that's what helped fire you up.
Right.
Because you just look at it as, milestones or this and that. You're not going to get aggressive to get past it.
Right.
You tend to sit there and sorrow over what spilled milk was all about. It's not about that. It's about cleaning up and understanding the mistake.
Right.
That's right.
That's it.
And making yourself stronger for these mistakes can be changed.
That's exactly
And that's a mental thing. And that's why we don't tend to always do it. Because it's just easy just to wipe it and then slip right back in it.
Exactly.
That's why you fall so often.
And listen, for those people who there's businesses that you can do quietly. Nobody know what you're doing. That you can just kind of tiptoe through the tulips, and when you have your failures, nobody know.
Right.
But if you decide to open a storefront, and all your friends know, and all the whole community know, and then 6 months later you out of business, now you got to face their opinion and their thoughts and what they think, and they're gonna. You have to have some inner strength. And I think the message here is that none of us can have inner strength alone. You got to have a base foundation in your spirit to do business, even to do business. Let me say it that way, right? If you don't have a prayer life, if you don't have a God serving you, if you don't have deity in your life, it is impossible to get through hundreds of these intelligent roadblocks, these intelligent hurdles that I'm talking about. You can't do it alone. You have to have deity in your life to help you through, right? And deity can let's just assume that, your God, whatever you call your God, and I'm not judging any of that. Right. You have to lean on a higher power is what I'm talking about. And, leaning, so our deity is 40,000 feet over our head. Okay. Our God knows exactly the hurdles that you are about to face. Correct. He knows that he needs to prepare you. He knows that he needs to strengthen you. He knows that he needs to make sure that he's there with you when that thing comes so he can change your mind. Just like you said, hey, I need to change my narrative. These are, I need to stop beating myself up about these failures. It's not about me beating myself up about failures. Right. What it's really about is that I hit this place where, it's causing me to change my direction. Right. And so now I got to put off the objective, the time frame from objective B because I got to go and get some more money, or I got to I got to go and buy some more time, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Most people aren't successful because they're not strong enough to deal with the reality of business. I oftentimes have thought about it in this way. We're all just kind of living life. We're all just kind of trying to move forward. We can't even satisfy ourselves in our own life. And we're trying to start another part of ourselves out here, knowing that there's going to be hurts and failures and problems. How can you get this done and you can't even get this done?
Thank you. Right? You failing yourself already.
You failing yourself already. You're reaching for something that you really aren't strong enough to get through. And it's not to say that you have to make some aggressive judgment about yourself before you start a business. I'm just inspiring you that whatever road that you take, you're going to fall off the side. And you're going to have to dust yourself off, and you have to get back on the path. And as you're doing all of that, the world might be watching you, and so you can't worry about what they think. You just have to use intelligence and let your heart drive you forward with strength.
I agree.
That's so important because I believe in everybody. You made a comment just a moment, Jay. You said, and I've heard this comment many a times before. Eric Thomas says it. You just don't want it bad enough. You just don't want it. You just don't want it. You're not willing to get up. You're not willing to fight. But what he doesn't realize is that everybody wants it. Everybody wants to be successful. I don't think there's a human on the globe who does not want success. There's not a single person in life who doesn't want to advance themselves, who doesn't want to look good in front of their peers, who doesn't want to make money, who doesn't want to have all the good things in life. They do want success, but they have not found out how to overcome themselves.
Correct.
They're fighting with themselves, and a short-sighted leader would just fire the C player, right? The C player is that one, he's there, he wants to be, but he really can't add value. And so what you do is you just talk him down and you fire him. That's not the case. If you've got people on your team, and again, you can see that they're working hard, they're interested in participating, you can help make them successful. They need encouragement. They need you to put your arms around them. They need support. They need love. Sometimes they need for you to give them a book and hold them accountable to read it. But you can't be judging people as not successful, especially people on your team, and you haven't really poured into it. You haven't looked into them. I'm not going to say that they don't want it.
I'm just saying you talking about me now, because I'm going to tell you right now.
You fired.
Hey, for all the ones that got fired,
right?
Y'all need to go ahead and call him, because I need therapy.
So
y'all wasn't playing right. Y'all don't play in the sandbox right. So you had to go. I got A and B. A is my star players that's already doing what needs to be done.
Right.
They are cool with B players next to them. The ones that show up every day and give a small percentage of it.
Right.
They cool.
Right.
Them C's, they just there to talk about and start mess. I'm sorry. I didn't start this for them. And I'm not going to continue babying them. This ain't no babysitting job. You need to go ahead and give up your grown folks card. Okay? Go on back to Toys R Us and go play. Because over here, we play to win, and you playing. So get in my stands and be a fan.
So here's the thing.
I'm just saying.
75% of the world are C players. They don't want to be C players. They just never elevated.
That's fine.
So you're judging people who
No, I'm
really
not.
have
I said,
potential.
get your ass in the stands. I need a fan. I need you to root me on because you ain't gonna be on my floor holding us up.
But you
You
gotta
starting now,
understand.
you
You gotta
messing with
understand what I'm
everybody.
saying.
They got to go, bro.
Well,
Someone gotta go.
They do have to
Said
go.
what he
But
said.
They got
Say
to
that
go.
He said.
no.
He said what he said.
Yeah, and that's all I got to say.
Right? But again, if you want to be in C players, you're gonna have to spend the money, and you're gonna have to invest the time. Here's the thing about C players.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a C player on your team, then you hired wrong,
It was already there.
right? You hired wrong.
No, I bought it.
No,
They was
now-
there.
Yeah, if you bought the company, we're not talking about that. But
I'm
we're
just saying.
talking about if you got a C player on your team, you did not properly assess that
And I had made
individual
that mistake too.
before you brought them in.
They came with a good interview.
Mm.
They did.
Nah.
No.
The interview is
just
nothing.
like when you're dating. They came with a mask on.
Yeah.
They came dressed right and everything. They came first. They pants hanging off their backside. I ain't trying to look at your crack player. I know I'm in Atlanta. I ain't trying to talk about folks here. Just saying. I gotta be honest about the situation. He came in with a suit on to pick up trash. I'm like, okay, you came sharp. First day at work, pants coming off, coming in cool, ain't trying, what I gotta do. Now, when the interview, you act like you knew everything to do. I rooted for you in the interview. I was like, okay, let me give you pass. Or you dealt a little bit in this, but you was eager, to get going because you see how much money I was starting you off on.
Right.
So the money was there, but your attitude and your abilities wasn't.
But listen,
But that was on paper, bro. So
Listen.
that's a C player.
nobody brings their whole self to the right now.
That's right.
So
Mhm.
now, as a leader, as a hiring manager, I have to assess. Tell me about your last 3 jobs. And when they start telling you, well, I kept this one 2 months, and I was there 6 months for this one, and you never been on a job for longer than 2 years, right? You got to you
There's an
can
issue.
you can dive into that
Hold
into
on.
that
Let me have
individual,
some
right?
fun because
Have some
we
fun.
talking.
Go ahead.
Ain't too many people keeping jobs right about. You know, we went through COVID.
No, that's
Man,
fine.
these people, look,
Right.
they going job to job right about now, and I need somebody to work. So please understand, I don't understand that the C players, because that's what I have to bring in. Just understand my organization is going to be built off those C players.
Right.
So
That's right.
you come in with that attitude, thinking I'm going to deal with you like that. I'm just telling you, you're going to get a rude awakening
Yeah.
because they're going to hire you in, because that ain't my job no more. They're going to hire you in. When I'm starting to look at your performance, I'm the one going to come to you.
Right.
And I'm going to go to your manager first.
Right.
What all are we failing at? Because this person ain't getting it. And if they can't answer, they're going to be on a situation that they might not be there. But
Yeah.
then I'm going to go to them to see whatever we might have failed. Because my business is built on a progress. Well, my whole thing is if they're not being led correctly, then that's not always their fault. But understand, I'm only going to do so much for a C.
Your
I'm
worker
just being
bees,
honest.
all your worker bees are C players.
Well,
right?
I'm just telling you, my worker
Right.
bees are B players.
Your
and they're
managers-
tired of the C
your
players.
managers are B players, and then you have real superstars.
Well, I ain't gonna lie to you. A lot of my managers are A players because I promoted them up.
Right.
That's why
Yeah.
they were there.
Yeah, don't
But
change
a
the
lot
graph,
of my
man. Don't
bees,
change the chart.
my main ones is bees. I'm
Yeah.
just telling you. And then that's my worker bees. Them the ones getting the job
Worker
done.
bees.
My worker bees, they
Right.
get together and make a lot of things happen besides what I say. But
Right.
they know the vision. C's are just there to get paid. They ain't trying to do no more, and if they can do less, they're gonna do less.
Yeah,
And
that's
them the
right.
ones that you
I
gotta
disagree.
start watching because the worker bees watching that. So they telling you, you gonna allow this? Because that's what they want to be too. Why I gotta come in and bust my butt and you allow this person to come in and not do nothing? Now that's where I gotta come in and start distinguishing who's gonna be on this task to get it done. And the C's want to be too, but they don't want to work.
Right.
So I look at the production, I look at what they're doing, and then I evaluate because I was that person.
Right.
So I try to motivate, but you can't motivate everybody. And you
Right.
say don't throw them away. I ain't throwing them away. They just ain't gonna be on my flow.
Right.
So you're going to have to figure it out. Why you ain't playing? Because you ain't showing no discipline, no drive, and where I'm trying to go. That's why I told you I have to share it off. Everybody can't go with you. Even in my workforce. Bro, if I got people that's doing multiple lines of business because they know I come short sometimes, them the ones that I say is past the B to get into an A. A's are the ones that did that already, and now they're managing because they know the abilities of what I need. So that's my A's and B's. My C's is half the people come through the door that just want to be on my team. I'm going to see what you can evaluate and do, but please understand, I have to make decisions, and they're going to be tough. And that's why I told a lot of people I fired, y'all C players, listen, don't be mad. Just understand, it just wasn't meant for you to be with me.
Yeah.
There's somebody else that needs you. It's just not me. Don't bring me that bull.
See,
I don't need to drive.
The only concern I have with your match is that
What?
there really is a D player, right? There really is a D player, and the D players are the one who you've been describing. C players create this world. They make everything happen. It's the people who will work 9 to 5. They'll come to work. They'll get their job done. They're not gonna get no more done.
Help me with the
Right.
D. Because I want to fire them quick.
Well, those are what you are describing as C players are really D players. Your C players, they
How
come to
many
work.
damn players is it?
It's
My team ain't that big. I got to get rid of
it's
the phone.
okay. Let me explain.
I'm paying too much. That's what you're telling me.
No.
I'm going to go back and reevaluate.
You listen them up.
Anybody that work for me, he made me reevaluate. Yeah, we're going to look at this. Tell me some more.
Don't holler at me.
Oh, yeah, they're coming for you. Crab told me some of y'all are D. D is not acceptable.
So here we go.
That's right next to dumb, right? D is dumb. Nope. Hey, and now my team.
There are 3% of the people in the world
Mhm.
who are extremely wealthy, paid out of their mind.
Okay.
There are 10%. Those are A players, by the way. There are 10% of the people
Mhm.
who are well off.
Okay.
Right? As long as they keep the hustle going, they'll never worry about money again. 60% of the people live paycheck to paycheck.
Okay.
And 27% of the people need financial assistance to live.
Okay.
Right? So that 60% of population living paycheck to paycheck, they produce the results that we see in the world. They go to work, they get their job done. They're probably not going to put in any extra, but you're not going to have to worry about whether they're getting their job done. So that's A, B, C, and D. When you have D players, you get rid of their ass. Right? If you got D players in your team, you need to go ahead and mash them out. But your C players are the people who have potential to grow. They need to be nurtured. The people living paycheck to paycheck, many of them have the ability to start businesses and write books and do albums and do music. They can go extremely far. However, the pressure of check to check causes them to not reach their potential.
Okay.
But if you can create an environment where they can grow and reach their potential, you're going to spend money coaching them. You're going to spend money developing them. Those are the people who, they only work 9 to 5, right? And they've been doing it for years. You've never had to chastise them. You never had to hinder them. They get the job done day in and day out. And then you have B players. Those B players, believe me, as soon as they get an opportunity to take your job, they can do it, and they just might do it.
I'll tell them all day come
Right?
forward.
You are the A player because you're at the top.
Yeah, but I won't.
Right?
I won't be the come for
You won't be. That's what you
I
want.
won't be.
But here's the B.
I don't teach you.
Here's the thing about B players.
More
And
levels.
it happens in every area of human endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
The B players steal your ideas.
Okay.
And they go take them to somebody else. Very much like you did at Advanced Disposal, right?
And with
You had
that-
all the knowledge, and you was like, hey, you're going to give me an opportunity to be a manager, to be at the top, to make more money, or I'm going to haul ass. And that's exactly what you did. You hauled ass.
And
So
now I'm the biggest fear.
B players create vulnerability for your company if they're not managed properly, right?
That's right.
Right? They're the people who are always feeling a little privileged. They always want a little bit more money for doing the same job, right? They're not as stable as we make them in our head, right? They sometimes can be an issue, right? Because they want to be the boss. They're trying to be the boss, and you pay them good money. You got them in places. You got them in places of management, places of extreme responsibility. They make it happen, but they're probably working themselves into either a greater promotion or out of the company.
And that,
Right?
and
It happens all the time. The banking industry is infamous for this level of.
You're right. And I love
work.
how you just said it because again, I came in baby in the company as a C. I can't say a D.
Okay.
I don't got time.
No,
for
you
all
ain't no
that.
D. by any means.
So I
You know,
came in as a C.
Yeah.
And I never really wanted to be into management, being honest with you. I just wanted to make a good living.
Right.
I was not trying to chase the bag at the time.
Right.
I was trying to take care of my family.
Right.
I came in at a young age where I just wanted to make sure my family was protected and taken care of. As a man, that's what I was really looking at. How I was treated made me want to get into a supervisory position because I didn't like some of the things that was being said to me.
Right.
And I really felt like the only change is going to come when you get in position of change. So when the opportunity came up for me to be a supervisor, I didn't want the position. People pushed me and said, man, go ahead. We need somebody that can lead us and somebody that know what they're doing
Right.
instead of people talking down to us.
Right.
So I went on ahead and I talked to my brothers, and they was like, "Yo, man, management is a lot different. It's a beast, but you might be good at it. Try it."
Yeah.
So I jumped in it, and it was a learning curve because now I'm more modest because I just don't want to implement everything that I feel.
Right.
I really want to know what it is. So I had to learn the backside. So now I had to study a little bit more. Had to take a couple courses to solidify
You're
my
hungry.
position.
See,
yeah,
guys are
because
hungry. Yeah.
I wanted to make sure I did the right things.
Right.
So I had to start working with the HR department, understanding resources.
Right.
So when you start doing these different steps, it made me start understanding how I need to communicate to my people that was never communicated before. They was talked down to. I want you on an understanding level. So now I was able to get more C players like myself to understand how we can work together as a B. So I started the B team. The B team was the strongest team. These was the ones that's out there knocking it out faster than everybody else with less accidents and everything else because they thought about the things that I was telling them. Right. I'm having meetings that's more interesting. Right. I'm going to take the problems that we have. We have not the whole company. The company will give me their overview of what a safety meeting should be. Right. That overview did not capture my people. So the ones that's out there on the street for me should know how I feel about what we're doing. Right. And that way they feel appreciated. Right. So when I learned all this and the company seen it, I become a liability. Right. Because I'm able to lead people at this point. I'm not just a manager, I'm a leader. So when you lost me and you left me and you want to keep me, just understand I'm the one that you really needed, but you didn't want. So now I'm with somebody else and now you're wondering why they're growing. Yeah. Because what you didn't want is what the world needs. Yeah. You don't want people like me, but I promise you, the world needs me. So I didn't stop just because of a failure or a disappointment. Right. I had to keep going. So now that I deal with C, I understand C, but I don't want to accept just C. Right. I understand A and B. And that's all I'm stating. Yeah. Because D, I ain't really know I even had the D out there. Because I never was just a D. Yeah. And then I pay people for success. One of the things I tell you, if you get other endorsements with your license, you'll get a promotion off of that. You don't got to wait till the end of the year to get raises. Right. My whole thing is I want to raise you by your educational level. If you're willing to do other things, I'm paying for your schooling. Right. So if you go to school, I pay for your school. Right. Mm-hmm. You know, if you got to get a certification with your driver license or your DOT card is up, I'm paying for your DOT because I need you to work for me. There you go. I'm willing to save some of the money out your pocket as long as you educate yourself to do something more within my company. Right. Even if you leave me, you're going to leave with more education and knowledge than you had when you got with me. And these are the ones that still talk to me. Please understand, people love, respect, and understand you when you're willing to be open. Right. That's somewhat vulnerable, but it's not giving up my business. Right. It's giving you an idea where I'm trying to go. And if you don't fit, just like I didn't, you can do great things somewhere else, but you'll still remember who gave you the opportunity. Right. And that's what I do. Right. And Camo.
And yeah, please, any comment, JJ? Yeah.
I love it. You know, it's great hearing you guys say a lot of things. I learned a lot just from hearing your conversation now. So
good.
I'm just grateful to be here.
Good.
We're grateful to have you.
Yeah, we're grateful to have you. And if you learn, that means our audience is learning. Right? Yes. And that's so powerful. Some of the other reasons why people aren't successful: lazy.
Oh Lord.
Procrastination.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Negative mindsets.
Mm-hmm. Social media, TV.
Lack of patience. Yeah. Lack of the ability to focus. Mm-hmm. Excuses. I learned many years ago, actually under the auspice of a paddle, that
you was beaten.
Was I? Bad. But excuses are tools of the incompetent, and those who use them build monuments of nothing and seldom achieve anything. And when you find somebody who's got excuses, throw your hands up, right? Because oftentimes those excuses are lack of self-belief.
I believe that.
Sometimes lack of self-belief is just, I just can't see myself doing that kind. I just can't see myself that big. I can't see myself that strong, that powerful. Can you see yourself receiving your award at the BET Awards?
I sure
right?
can.
There you go.
Now you have to do that. And there again, the reason people, what keeps them from success, they have no vision.
That's true.
And I think vision is the number one thing in the world. I think a C player with a vision will learn, grow, fight, keep moving, elevate over and over and over again. Right? There's no stopping someone who has a vision. Oh, you know what? I want to be the boss. And so what does it take? Take getting beat up on a little bit. Sometimes it take dirty hands.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not being a C player once you do that. You'll be at that point. Because
Inside,
vision,
for sure.
right?
Inside, for
You
sure.
might see me as a C,
Right.
but you got to see you before everybody ever know you.
There you
So
go.
I might start off in a position that everybody
There you
know,
go.
and you thought I was gonna stay there.
Yeah.
That's why you can't carry everybody with you, because
Yeah.
they gonna remember where you were and not see the struggle where you at.
Yeah.
True.
You know what? I had I've been having conversation with vendors like
Mhm.
crazy for the last probably 6 or 8 months.
Ooh, okay.
Because I'm ready to take my business to the next level, and I have to hire expertise.
Okay.
I don't have it on my team. I have to go out and get it, and so I'm going to get the expertise.
Ain't no wrong with that.
And a lot of these people have no clue of what my vision is. And in such, they're talking to me like I'm going to be a little guy, but they don't see that I'm going to change the world. And whatever they help me with, we're going to change the world. Well, not only are we going to make hundreds of millions of dollars,
Right.
and everybody's going to get paid who supports this, but we're going to make a difference. So they're talking to me, and they are unaware of all that I have put in. Oh, you should do this, and you should do that, and you should do this, and you should do that. And so now I, as a leader, have to be like, they don't know. Let me just get the intelligence. Let me get the information. You know, I'm not going to be disturbed by what they say, and you know, and they're passionate about their business. But you can't allow people to look down on you and feel some kind of way, because it's going to happen on your scale. Just about everybody. If you're at, let's say there's 10 positions to get to the top,
Right.
that every other day, every month, whatever, every quarter, you're going to be passing someone. And everyone who you pass, they never could see themselves at the next level.
Okay.
But you've already elevated to the next level. That's where the hate starts. That's where the, you know, all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So
Most
it's extremely important that you have vision. I believe that vision alone can help you achieve your goal. It is the most aggressive factor in life. Why? Because our thoughts create our reality.
That's
That is
right.
true.
That
That's
is
true.
consciousness. If I think and believe and say to myself and have this vision of being a millionaire, something in my spirit bigger than me is going to take me in that direction. And as long as I have this fortitude, as long as I can withstand the storms and I can pick myself back up, my vision is going to continue to take me there. I just think about the road that Obama traveled. He had to have traveled roads where like, you ain't never gonna be no president. Everybody around him was saying no, no, no. All of a sudden he's driving on this campaign. All of a sudden he's winning votes. All of a sudden he's, you know, in the Senate. All of a sudden that's how it happens. He had a vision to be the president of the United States of America. And once he got the vision, his vision was relentless. His spirit took him in places that he never thought. And your spirit will guide you. It'll keep you out of trouble. It'll keep you from feeling bad. Your spirit is everything. And let me just say this for the record. I know we're
Say
pretty
it.
close to closing,
Say it.
but you are not your spirit. Your spirit is bigger than you are. Right? It's oftentimes why we can sense that somebody's behind us
Okay.
or that somebody's walking up on us. Right? Because the self is bigger than the individual. I believe that the real self is like, it's a little part of God that is in you. And that little part of God knows how to achieve everything. Right? It knows how to heal your body. It knows how to strengthen your emotions. It knows exactly that you're going to run into a person who can give you information, and that they only meet them for 30 seconds and they say something, and you take that information and you use that information. Your spirit starts to use that information.
Right.
It is your guiding principle. That's why we have to be aligned with our greater self. We have to be aligned with our deity.
Say it.
That's
And
right.
so have the vision, give your vision over to the spirit, and spirit will lead you in the direction of your highest and greatest path.
That's
That
right.
is the nature of life. No one who has ever achieved greatness will look over their shoulder and say, I did all this.
No.
They'll say something happened and somehow, and it just the right things fell into place. Right? We've known, and the word tells us about people who have fought battles with armies that were 10 times their size.
True.
but they had the vision of victory. And the team who wins the Super Bowl, the team who wins the championship, the person who gets the award is not talent, it's not intelligence, it's not what you did, it's not who you know. It's what? Belief in myself. Belief in the vision. The people who win and the people who achieve greatness have extreme spiritual beliefs to have that, to make that happen. There's not a single one of them who has ever achieved anything great who didn't have a great spirit behind them. And so you got to build up your spirit in the path of your success. And I don't know what else we say about that.
There's nothing else to say. There's nothing else to say, man, because it goes right back to your drive.
Yeah.
And that's
it
going
goes
to be
right
you.
back to your drive.
And that's what you're going to need to keep that plane intact. And
That's right.
again, if you meet somebody in your life, to me, start planning what you really want. I really feel like everybody want love, and you don't have an understanding of your own plan. So now you're going to let love take you off your path. And that's a feeling of emotion. It's one of the things I say is real great. It's no different than sex. But they're on different levels. I mean, my whole thing is before you do all that, understand a person, have a great communication thing with them. Make them your best friend.
Yeah.
Because when you start doing these things, you'll start moving in the direction back towards your plan, and y'all can have that understanding between you two, and y'all working for something, not just a happiness. Because it's going to come and go. But the plan going to stand there and make you work towards it. Never give up on each other and the plan, and you're working for something, and then the kids to see it, and the kids will start manifesting back to what their mommy and daddy doing, not what the world is doing. And that won't be their guiding point. It'll be their parents.
Right.
Because right now, they're looking for celebrities to be their parent, their guide, and it need to be us being stronger and taking our kids to that great place. Not just what they see, is what they see and what they know. And that's what we communicate to them. And we'll be a greater community, and we'll be a greater person when we get the right finding of each other and not fight each other. Because that's all we get.
That's right.
Disrespect, and we need to respect. We come broken, but we don't got to stay broken.
Yeah.
Figure that out, and you understand your happiness. Because I'm there, but don't bring that brokenness to me.
Right.
Say it.
And let me just say this because let's just kind of coagulate all the points that were made.
Okay.
Part of the first plan is to create the vision. And so if you haven't created the vision, sit down with a clean sheet of paper and just start writing about what you want to see happen in your life.
Right.
When you get clear about what you want, the doorways will begin to open. We are human beings having, living, really we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And again, clarify the vision and success shall be yours.
I like that.
Anything to close out on?
No, just you guys made some really valid points, and you taught me a lot. So I'm
Outstanding.
grateful.
Outstanding. I think a great way to close out our show. This has been Bar Talk with Jay.
Yes.
My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
In the building.
We got our guest Jay Gia in the house.
Y'all been
And,
hearing a lot from her.
yes.
Anything coming up?
Yeah, you want to tell us how to reach you?
Man, we got a lot of stuff coming.
Did you see that? You see
Okay.
that fire?
Yeah.
We can see that fire.
We got a lot of stuff coming. I'm so excited. Shout out to Booby. Shout out to AD and my sister Angel.
Yes.
That's my team right now, and we have our vision,
Yes.
and we're in the new stage of our plans,
Right.
and we're manifesting everything to come our way. And I can't wait to see the great things we have ahead of us. And I know that we're going to be very successful because I have a whole bunch of A players.
There you go. There you go. Tell folks how to reach you.
You can find me on all social media platforms at JGM Music, TikTok, Instagram. I'm even on Facebook. I have a Facebook fan page.
Okay.
Big O, the same name as well. And I'm grateful to be here on the show. Thanks, guys, for
Yeah,
having me.
and
No
listen,
problem.
much luck, love, and success.
Yes.
And when you need something, if you want to just come by and engage in conversation, or maybe you need just a few minutes to just air your message so that you can clip your message and use it on your platform, you're
Yes.
more than welcome to come. We'll help you in any way we can.
I really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you
very
for having
welcome.
me.
No
And
problem.
we want to thank you folks again for being
Yes,
here.
yes.
We're here every Thursday from 7 to 8 Facebook Live, and we're on every major platform. We've been doing this for 6 years right now,
Yes.
and every day, every week for 6 years. We have over 580 shows,
Say it again.
and have just shared a lot of great wisdom. And so we appreciate you folks continuing to follow us. Most importantly, we love you. We appreciate you.
Yes.
And with that,
We are out.
Ain't no last